A lot of times when we think about making art, we can get enmeshed, entangled in worries about whether what we're making is any good. And we can overlook one of the most important parts of art making, which is the effect that it has on us in a deep spiritual, psychological, therapeutic way. The way that it allows us to tap into and discuss things that there may not be that many opportunities to talk about in our regular lives, or to explore. And a lot of times we may think, how do I talk about and think about the big issues? How do I think about why I'm here, or what my life is about, or even how do I feel about my existence, or how do I explore my emotions? I can have conversations with people, but there aren't that many opportunities to talk about more profound or important topics. Maybe when we were in college in a philosophy class we did, but as regular grown-ups leading regular lives, there aren't that many opportunities to think about it. So I wrote an essay recently which was about this thought that we have an opportunity to use art as a means of expression about the things that we really want to be honest about, that we want to really explore deeply in ourselves, regardless of whether our drawings are any good, regardless of whether we have the right materials or any of the other nonsense that often trips us up. We have the opportunity to think deeper and feel more profoundly. So I want to read you this article I wrote. It's an article. It's an essay. As you may know, I write an essay every Friday. It's free, and you can sign up for it. Is there going to be a button right there? Perhaps there'll be a button that says that you can sign up for it. But you can just go to dannysessays.com and sign up for it. But in the meantime, let me just give you a flavor of what these essays are like, or at least what this particular one was about. So here's what I wrote. There are so many aspects of one's life that we never talk about. Things that live inside you, but that you may never articulate to another human being. What you think about your death, how the world feels from this particular place where you're living it, how we should treat each other, what role God has in your life, what we think is beautiful, our weaknesses, and our secret dreams. Things that you have opinions about, feelings about, dreams about, but that lie in the basement of your mind in decaying cardboard boxes gathering dust and silverfish. Sure, there are those rare moments you bring some of them out. After a couple of drinks with a college roommate, talking to a stranger on an overnight plane trip, or to your spouse when you make up in the middle of the night and you can't sleep. But in all likelihood, you'll go to your grave with those thoughts and feelings and opinions still locked behind cobwebs and never shared with the world. Unless you're an artist. So many of my favorite artists make work that displays their feelings, their inner angst, their fears, how they feel about human beings, about aging, about the body, about sex, weakness, death, society. The more intense, the better. Basquiat, Crumb, Sheila, Kahlo, Van Gogh, Lucian Freud, Alice Neal, David Hockney, Knausgaard, Dylan Thomas, Gigi Marquez, Bukowski, even Stephen King. I love these artists because they crack open their chests and skulls and spill out things that we recognize in ourselves, things we didn't know anyone else felt or thought about. Sometimes raw, sometimes enhanced with genius, big things and small that may or may not ever come up in polite society. Way beyond pretty pictures, cool techniques, gripping stories, or fancy footwork. They make art that's worth spending time with because it makes us feel like we're not alone in the universe. Making heartfelt art doesn't mean that you need to self-flagellate in public, but you do need to be authentic and unafraid. Art is the opportunity to share yourself. Seize it. P.S. Are you hesitant to share yourself? What are you afraid of? Share it with me in the comments below. I'd love to know what you think about this idea and how you feel about it. And are you willing to share it in public on a YouTube comment? I think you're among friends. It's a safe place to do that. All right, well, thanks very much for joining me. And I've got to go and write my next essay. If you'd like to get it, make sure you sign up at Danny'sEssays.com. Have a great day. Bye-bye.